everybody. I'm Journey Armand, Head of Engagement here at Flip. Today, we are bringing you another Educator Spotlight where I get the chance to chat with some of the most incredible, innovative, and inspirational educators in the world. And I'm really honored for this opportunity. Today, we have an amazing educator joining us from Los Angeles, California. Alfredo Silva is a high school history teacher at Garden Grove Unified School District. Welcome, Alfredo. It's awesome to have you join us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. So we'll just jump right into it. Alfredo, I'm always inspired with you because you speak equity, passion, and love, and you put it in the forefront of everything that you do when you teach for justice in your 20 years as an educator. I want to know, what are some of the biggest lessons that you might have learned throughout your career?
Well, it has taken 20 years to get to this point, or 23 years, but I think it's that you need to meet the kids where they're at, right? My preferences, my comfort level stopped being at the forefront a long time ago. And then, of course, teaching from home during COVID really made it so crystal clear that we got to meet these kids where they're at and put our own preferences aside. And I think, Flip was one of my tools that I turned to and haven't looked back from that. And I've thrived really since we've gotten back to in-person, really trying to, like you said, teach for justice as opposed to focusing on mastery of the curriculum. You can do both if you really try.
Oh, I love that. Putting students first, you can never go wrong. And you mentioned utilizing Flip. So I'm curious, what are some ways that you've used Flip in your class or school?
Multiple ways this last year. And I think it's important to note for other high school teachers out there who are considering Flip or who may have gotten away from it. I got away from it a couple of years ago, really before the pandemic. I thought what I could do aside from, introductions had maybe maxed out. I also fell into that thinking of maybe it's not for high school, but wow, in the last few years, the updates and the different tools that have been added, it really became a go-to tool for me. And we start with names and introductions. It's super important to me to pronounce students' names right. My name is Alfredo, and I've been called every version of that by teachers. And I was one of those kids who was too, scared, I guess, to correct my teachers at every level, all the way through college. And so I really emphasize with the names introduction that it's important to me, and be patient with me. But really, the game changer for me was back to school night. We have in our particular school pretty low participation with back to school night. The parents work, they're tired. There's a variety of reasons. And so I offered the opportunity to record a Flip and respond to a prompt of have the parent or guardian respond to the prompt. How can I make you comfortable with my class? And this is just assuming they've read the syllabus and things like that. And I saw and met so many guardians, saw the inside of their homes. And you can run a statistical spreadsheet of who's in your class and think that you know your student population. But when you see them in their homes with their parents and guardians, it changes everything. They're not statistics anymore. It really has COVID and Zoom and Flip have really humanized my students for me in a way the previous 17 years never did, and it's been awesome.
That is just beautiful. And you're meeting families where they are too, and welcoming them into your learning community as well. So
Right.
Thank you for sharing that. So I know, teaching high school, as you mentioned, this is a critical time for our students. What do you think is the most important thing when you teach the next generation?
Well, and you mentioned it early on, and it's a big theme of mine. Empathy, right? Love, literally the word love and compassion, I think have been revealed in lately for what these kids are lacking. And let's be fair, adults are lacking in the areas of those three areas also. And so one of the ways we've done that, and this is another place where Flipped helped tremendously, was with the global cultural exchange, right? For a world history class, how do you develop empathy for people in different parts of the world? Where Dritsa Vijalba had put together, basically it's like not pen pals, but an updated version of that. And I had 2 full class periods that were hosting for the global cultural exchange. And also, we did a thing inspired by Virginia Nguyen and reached out to Virginia, and she walked me through this thing called the Belonging Project, where I had 100 replies, 100 flips responding to the question, what does belonging mean to you? What does it look like? And I had another class synthesize that and make their own video on, building community too is an important goal for me that it just seems like Flip has also been able to help me with. So there's just been so many ways we've been using it this year for good, right? This is a tool that helps me use tech for good, which is important.